Okay. Welcome and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Welcome to a off-the-cuff, quick live between myself, Walter O'Neill from Antiques Arena, and Kieron from Taliesin Antiques. Today we're going to just have a general chit-chat, just a look back on 2025, maybe a look at what's coming on 26, and just break it up, give you something to watch for an hour other than general rubbish TV. So before we dive into the video, do you want to give yourself a little introduction?
Yeah, so I'm Kieron from taliesinantiques.com. So like Walter, I'm a full-time antiques dealer, also based in South Wales. And well, I've been doing it a little bit less time than Walter, but I do also have a YouTube channel where I do videos about my journey as an antiques dealer, things I'm finding, things going on in the trade, all that type of stuff. So yeah, we like to collaborate and talk about how things are going for both of us and share that with you guys.
Yeah, we kind of met this year ourselves, didn't we? It was only this year, really, we met. I know I bought off you for a couple of years, but it's only this year we met. We met in, well, realistically, Gathley.
Yeah, and you've bought off me well for a couple of years. Yeah, you have. Had a few of your best buys from me. But yeah, I think it's only this year we started to catch up more directly. There we go.
Okay,
what we got
come on in. This is Gracie Bell, and this looks like Jonathan.
Yeah.
Right, go on, out.
No,
Yeah, just as a recap, some of the things I bought off you over the years. Let me see. I had them beautiful solid silver sugar tongs for £2. Some of the best quality silver I think I've seen in my life. Quality on them was unbelievable for sugar tongs, and we done a deal. I had a nice marble, was it carved marble chest of drawers off you, and some Art Deco figures and things like that.
Yeah, I think it was late.
So I bought some nice things off you over the years.
So interesting, isn't it? Because that's me getting started, and that's kind of all part of my learning curve to where I am now. So even though I lost in a way I lost on them because you bought off me well with them, the learning curve is amazing, and that's where I am now is thanks to a lot of those type of experiences. So but yeah, it was this year, wasn't it, that we started more kind of joining up, going to places and going around to sort of different chatting more.
Apart from the few times I bought off you, you knew me before I knew you, because obviously you watched the channel. And then used to come across and say hello at Gathley when I'd be selling in Gathley and say hi and that. And it developed from there. And then you started coming along with myself, Sean and Rob, and we'd travel around Madley and Pennaval and Gathley and all the other boots. And now we've even evolved into doing day out trips, antique road trip battles. If you haven't seen that, you're going to absolutely love them. It's where we actually go out and we go in competition. Who can get the best stuff? I think the last antique battle was a draw. Some people have said we need an adjudicator, so you feel free to leave your comment what you thought. Go watch mine. What we done, we both filmed the first part separately, and then we done one big collaboration video at the end where we showed you our buys. Go leave a comment, have a look, see what you think, see who actually won the battle. But we're going to do another one now over the next week or two. I get to pick the destination this time, though. Yeah, I don't know where we're going yet. I haven't decided, but it's going to be in my favour. It's going to be some neck of the woods that I know the area.
So I just get lost in the ditch somewhere with nothing, and then you're just there with your big treasure bag.
Well, let's be honest. We went to Llandilo, Llandyfri, and all the rest of them, but we went in the Works. Is it Llandilo, the Works? Which is a big antique centre, which is Kieron's regular. So we knew where all the good stalls were. He knew where the cheaper end was. He knew where to head. He had that head start on me, but I still bought a couple of really nice things on the day.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a really good day, and we're going to plan on keeping doing them right away through in 26.
Yeah, we can always, when the big sales open back up, we can incorporate them into that in some way as well. So yeah, very interesting concept that one is.
Yeah, it's just friendly competition. Now, before today's video really starts, I just want to add in that if you've got anything you want to say, chuck it in the comments. We'll chuck it up on the screen and maybe we'll even have a chat about it. Or if you're commenting and you're watching the video after the event, then please feel free to comment and we will probably put them in a future video. Anything you want covered, or we'll certainly get back to you. Thank you very much. Happy New Year to you. And Happy New Year. Thank you very much. Happy New Year to you too. I hope everybody's had a good holiday, had a good Christmas. I don't particularly care what anyone's beliefs are. I just hope you've had fun. And I hope everybody has an amazing New Year. Because we've got some amazing plans. So what have you thought of 25 then?
I think it's a big topic, isn't it? I think I've had a lot of memorable things. I think I always think in terms of the things I found. You know, if I'm looking back on the year, that's the thing that comes to my mind. And yeah, I've same as you as well. I know you've got some stories to tell also, but just not so much how valuable these items are, just the incredible moments where you're just picking things out of nowhere. And you just get that rush of blood of, oh my God, what is that? And is it as good as I think it is? You know, you have that sort of moment when you're out and about thinking, you think you've got something, then it kind of grows from there. When you get home, you start taking pictures and you start doing the research.
That excitement in it.
I've had that so much.
New Year. We got a couple of things we're going to share with you later on. I've picked 3 of my favorite buys of this 2025. And I believe you've picked a couple of buys out of yours that you've actually really pleased with that you found. But putting the buys aside, what have you learned from 25? You know, what have you taken away from 25?
I'll tell you what, I think it's been a very interesting year for the antiques trade. To me, it feels like we're at a crossroads in terms of things changing. Now, I know people have said it for a long time, but I really do think that we've hit a point where technology and the change of behavior has really come to a head. I think, you know, those sort of COVID lockdown years changed society a lot in terms of how they buy and what they do with their money these days. And then you've got, from our point of view as a dealer, that gap between where, I suppose, how do I want to put it? The only way I can really think of doing it is that asking prices and identification has increased because of, look, we're in a Google Lens era, is what I'm getting at here. So things have changed on that sense. But also
we're not even in Google Lens here. I was actually going to talk about that next. Right? Google Lens was 3-4 years ago. Google Lens is gone. We're now in the era, right, of so many apps, right? And I know people are using them. They take a photograph and these apps are sort of like 80-90% accurate on telling them what it is, what it's worth, things like that. They're scouring these AI apps now. They're scouring marketplaces like Facebook, like eBay, Marketplace, things like that to find sold examples. And I got to be honest with you, I even find myself arguing with AI when it says, well, this is this and this, and I'm going, well, no, you're wrong because of such and such. But AI is really, really good now at identifying stuff. It's a whole new level. You want to talk about how the game has changed? Anybody can be an antique dealer now who owns a phone. Let's be honest. Coral? Amaya. This is Gracie Bell, my daughter, and she's obsessed with reborns, and she's been bringing them all in to show me. Come on, take them out then, please. Go on then. Love you. Go on. Thank you.
There's 12 altogether.
No. Let me do my video, please, love. Thank you, babe. That's why I'm banned to upstairs, because the house is full. It's Christmas. So the only way I can make a video is upstairs. So I thought a video is better than no video. But yeah, I think we're in an age now where anybody who can afford a £10 a month app on a mobile phone can now go out and photograph stuff and become an antique dealer overnight. It has never been easier now to do this job than it is now.
Yeah, the only thing I think about is that Well, first of all, I don't believe AI is good with value, and this is a big thing that you see in charity shops, you see with other antique dealers, if I'm being honest, and you see with certainly the public as well. If you rely, AI is kind of what a lot of people don't realize, a lot what Google does this as well, and all the AI does, is trying to make the reader happy, and it's trying to make you. So what it's doing there is, if you're asking how much is this worth, it's trying to give you the best case scenario because it wants you to be satisfied with the answer.
I found Gemini exaggerates. My personal experience with Gemini is Gemini exaggerates and makes things sound better than they are. It always does. Because when I use AI, I don't use one. I cross-reference them all. I use 3-4 different AIs, compare all the results, and I'll even paste one result into another and say, well, why are they saying that? You were saying that. You're both up in the air. Who's right? And do you know what? The AIs will actually criticize each other and all. It's awesome fun. Just do it for a bit of fun. But you are right. They are designed to make the reader happy, or the owner or user happy. But you got to be honest, they are exceedingly good at finding information out on and identifying things now. They're not as good as human eye yet, but they're getting there.
At this moment in time, I still think you need to have knowledge to know to kind of fact check it. You need to have that kind of what's the word now? You have to be skeptical of what it's telling you. So if you put something into it, you need to know enough to be able to say if it's right or wrong. But you are right; it is very good at identifying items, and it's certainly a lot easier than it used to be because of it.
Let me make a distinction here. Right, you were saying that you still got to have some knowledge to see whether it's right or wrong and fact check it. That is on the type of stuff we deal with. Because the type of things we deal with, for example, Chinese porcelain, 18th century glass, 18th century porcelains, early metalware, these are the type of things that are not easily identifiable. If you pick up a piece of Royal Dalton or a piece of Beswick, AI will tell you exactly what it is. It will even give you links to sold examples on eBay. We are referring, the only time you got to be very careful with it is with the unmarked stuff that that you need to understand how it's made, how it's designed, the shapes, the construction, that type of thing. If it's something as simple as a Royal Dalton figurine, AI will tell you that in half a second.
Certainly, I think most people though haven't actually graduated to that point, but they will. I think most people now, when I'm talking like charity shops, the public, when they're selling their items, are just relying on Google Lens, and Google Lens does the same thing as well. That populates the kind of the highest asking price you can find.
One minute. Hang on, sorry, Kieron. Right, so last one. Right, last one. Who's this one?
Aria.
This is Aria, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, give me a kiss then. I love you.
He has a coach.
Okay, come on in. Let Daddy make my phone, man. Shut the door, please. Sorry, Kieron, what was you saying about?
Right. No, I'm just saying, I still think most people are still using, when it comes to the public and the shops and stuff like that, they're still using Google Lens. They haven't quite got onto AI yet, but they will do. And Google Lens does the same thing. Now, you're right, it's been used for the last few years, but I just think at this point it's kind of mass adopted. And it's just one of those things that has changed how the industry works. One of the key moments probably for you this year was your selling in Melbourne. I don't know what you think about that, but I feel like a lot of it, what you notice changed in Melbourne, you can probably pinpoint a lot of this that the buyers have changed.
Well, what I found and learned from Melbourne was that the entire industry have changed. I'm classed as what I would class as an old school dealer. The type of dealers who used to walk around, they look at things, they buy them with the gut instinct, they take them back, they'd sell them in a shop. That dealer doesn't exist anymore, very few and far between. This new dealer out there now, these young dealers using AI, using Google Image Reverse, selling on eBay and other platforms. They're there for the fast turnover, the quick flips. There's a huge amount of resellers that have started up over the last few years. Unbelievable amount of people on YouTube now doing this. I've been doing this for like 8-9 years on YouTube. When I started this, I think there was 2 or 3 of us. There's now probably 200 or 300 or 400. I don't know. There's a lot of people on there now covering all different topics. The whole game has changed.
Yeah, I think it's accelerated this year. I feel like this year is when I've noticed it the most, which is, of course, natural. It's part of development, isn't it? But it's just interesting to see where it's going, and this time next year, what we'll be thinking, what's changed within the next year, and so forth. Then, so yeah, so it's a year, but it's about adapting now and sort of working out where your place is in the industry, and the old methods are not going to be beneficial to you, I don't think. It's interesting you mentioned dealers buying for shops, because I do wonder what the future for retail is as well. I think we're going to 2026, and we know there are items now that we bought this year that we definitely wouldn't buy next year, because of what we know has changed.
100%. 100%. Before we move on, though, I want to touch on to this comment here Kindred Spirit have put out, which is you can get AI to tell you what it is and what it's worth, but you still have to have somewhat of a good eye in the first place. I agree with that 100%, because otherwise they're going to be there as a buyer at the boot sale scanning every single item. And let's be frank, that is not realistic. However, for a seller, how hard would it be for them to sit down and use AI in the night before they go to the boot sale to do it, which means less of the stuff may end up on the boot sale. And the good thing is, while people are using AI and Google Lens and all the rest of it, I've already picked it up, or another knowledgeable dealer's already picked it up and bought it and moved on. So that is a good point to make. If you've got the eye and you've got the knowledge behind you in the first place, then you're already 10 times faster than anybody else using a phone. But then comes in those smart glasses where they scan in as quick as you.
Oh, that'll happen.
If you haven't bought them
yet,
you were on about buying them.
Yeah, well, I was on about buying them for filming rather than that. I don't think they'd help me that much in that at the minute, but at some point they will. That'll be a thing. That people will at some point go out and have a screen, and it will scan them for you, and it'll probably say, "Buy that." That's worth that. That's worth that. I don't think a lot of people realise what's probably is to come with AI. It's going to develop at a very fast rate, but we'll worry about that when it comes.
I do think them AI glasses that are out now, I've already seen the adverts where you got, is it Chris Hemsworth, looking at a piece of art, a banana taped to a wall or something, and it's telling it who the artist was and all the rest of it. So I've already believe it's got the technology built into them glasses to identify the stuff. So it's just a question now of how long until those companies develop the technology where they can scan the table for you, highlight the rare pieces on the table or the things for you to do a closer look at. I don't think it's going to be long. But then we still have a good few years away from people using that technology. But it's going to change the entire game.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, that's an even bigger picture. It's not just a 2025 look back thing. It's just something that's probably very noticeable this year. But that's the next few years will be interesting from that point of view. The antiques industry is the same as any other industry. Is going to be affected by AI and technology.
Right. I want to branch back just a second because you mentioned Malvin. And I've had a couple of real shocks this year. First of all, with Malvin. Now, for those of you who watch my channel, you already know what I'm talking about. But for anybody who hasn't seen the video, I'm an antique dealer and I buy and sell smalls mainly on the internet. However, when something too good to leave behind comes up, I buy it, I put it in a storage unit, and I hold it. And every year or two, I'll load a 3.5 ton van and I'll go off and I'll do a big antique fair or something like that here or there. Anyway, I went to Malvin, which is the UK's biggest flea market, let's be frank. 3-county showground, B2B events is one of the biggest flea markets there is in the country. And I went there and I laid out my stall. And to give you an idea, the old-time dealers that were there, the other stall holders, spent nearly £1,500 with me before the gates even opened up for the public to come in or the trade to come in. They all bought the stuff I thought they'd buy. They paid the sort of money I expected. They were the traditional dealers that I know. Then the gates opened, and I would expect a flood of dealers to come running in, buying all the stuff. It was nothing more than a trickle. and they didn't buy the stuff that I was expecting. They were all after the smalls for eBay. They were all either after precious metals or little items under 2 kilos they could ship. There was very few people coming willing to buy larger items. And I'll give you some examples. I had furniture there. I had an arts and crafts bed there. I had a solid bronze fireplace there. I had Victorian fire inserts there. I had some really good gear. I even had handmade rugs from Iran. Right, I had it all there. I had a really good stall. And I done best part of £1,500 before the gates opened and a couple of £100, whatever it was, after the gates opened all day. It was absolutely pathetic. The trade I did afterwards was no good. So from that, I done an experiment where, and you've copied this experiment since, so you can talk about yours in a moment, but I put everything that was left from Malvern into an auction to find out whether Malvern just had a bad day, or whether the type of dealers who buy the rugs, that buy the Victorian fireplaces and things like that and the furniture, whether they're still around, or whether this stuff is just being sold by people from B2B on marketplace and things and skipping out the middleman these days. And the auction was an absolute disaster, so I couldn't even use it. But that was because they put every single one of my items into a general sale with buckets of sun cream and dog beds and other things when I give them all antiques. That was assigned for the antique sale and went in a general sale. So my auction experiment was a total flop. But you had a go, didn't you, and done one?
Yeah, I did one as well, and didn't have any of the issues you had in terms of the late sort of pictures and all that. It was, the pictures were done well in advance. They were all advertised to the level I expected them to be. The auction I knew was not like a big auction house, by the way. It was kind of, I more did it hoping that the trade would buy it, the stuff. I kind of knew it wouldn't sell for the full retail value of the stuff I put in. But I did want it to go, and that was this was an auction house which was going to take all my items, no questions asked. If I went to another auction house, they probably would have rejected a load of it, However, what I didn't expect was the trade didn't buy the items. They didn't bid on the items. Anyway, things were going for £4, £5, £7. We're talking about, tables, blankets.
Just to give an example there, didn't you sell a Danish tile table there?
Yeah, that went for £9, I think.
Mid-century modern Danish tile top table on marketplace or on a good site, a couple of £100.
Yeah, it was a nest of tables as well. It was, it was a useful coffee table. It was all sorts, and it was kind of like, what was interesting about that as well, because that was a video that did quite well for me in terms of views. And when you have a video which, goes well in terms of views, you get a lot of new viewers coming along, people who probably are new to the game but think they know more than they do, to be quite frank, because a lot of the comments were like, put rubbish in, get rubbish prices and stuff like that. And I think the only thing I could say was, the only thing I think really was that this is a reflection of the people who have come into the trade now, that they're looking at items like that as rubbish. Now, I know they haven't got the value anymore, and I know they're not as desirable, but antiques are not rubbish if they're well made or anything. They're just not in fashion. And it's not, if you love the industry and you love the products and you love the history of items, and you're like us as dealers, we don't just do it for the profit. It's just the absolute passion about what we do. We don't buy everything that's antiques. We know we can't always make a profit on it, but we don't talk it down or say how rubbish and crap it is. We just say, look, we can't buy it because we can't make a profit on it at the moment, or no one will buy it. So, but that's the attitude of a lot of people who've come into the game. I find at the moment is that all they care about is the money, and I suppose maybe that's.
I agree with you 100% there. Now, I've been around the markets and I've seen some absolutely outstanding pieces, and they've had zero value, but I bought them for myself because I appreciate them. And I would rather buy them and keep them myself and enjoy them, value, resaleability or not. We're in this because we love the items, love the history. But not everybody is. And as you say, that type of new dealer that's come into the game now, well, those comments, Chrissy, please don't. I love you. Please don't, darling, okay? Oh, go out now, please. Chrissy. Come on, love. Come on, go. Oh. Sorry. the type of comments you had on your video of you put rubbish in, you get rubbish out. I had very similar on mine. Now, some of the pieces I put in the auction, I put a hand-carved solid pine rocking horse in. The saddle was leather saddle, was stitched to the wood. It had real horsehair. The head was all carved out of a single piece, and he put that in a general sale. Now, all right, it wasn't next to a bucket of sun cream, but it was in the same sale as that type of crap. You was there. You watched the auction the same as me, and he would have happily sold that for £20.
Yeah, he started bidding really low, and I think a phone bidder came in and saved the day, really, because I think he was about to sell it, I think, if I remember rightly, and then someone said, "Oh, there's someone on the phone who wants to bid on this," and it took, yeah. But yeah, no such luck in mine. In my one, I remember there was a like Art Deco mirror, which was a lovely item. I don't know what's going on with mirrors. I don't like it. It's been a theme this year that I've had the sort of luck I've had with mirrors and not being able to move them on or anything. But I always think like every house has mirrors, but you can't. They're very difficult to sell at fairs or in shops and stuff like that, even for low prices. So I put one in auction, really nice one. Bevel edged, probably 1930s. Went for £7. Good size, man. You're just thinking, what is going on?
I've been in the game long enough to watch things that were really up there and things that weren't up there. For example, 13, 14, 15 years ago, maybe 20 years ago, something like that, I used to buy Whitefriars glass at the car boot sales for 50p in a pound. Every day I'd go out, I would buy a coffin vase or a finger vase for 50p. I remember buying full-size hooped glass vases for £1.50 and £2 20 years ago. Now, I think the record price for a Whitefriars vase is something like £8,000 or something stupid. It's really up there. But at the same time, I remember Staffordshire figures used to pull £300-400 for a Staffordshire figure. You can't get a fiver from now. But that doesn't mean they're crap. And this whole new wave of people that come in, and they're quite aggressive as well. I think you'll accept that, because I've had quite a few aggressive people, and you have commenting on videos and things like that and posts saying, "Oh, it's nothing but crap." There is zero appreciation for the item, zero appreciation for the history with some of these people, and they're only interested in the profit value, the margin that's on there. Just because something's lost its value now doesn't make it any less important in history.
Yeah, it's like a Plato thing. Real intelligence is knowing how little you know. And I think, it's very easy. And I did, look, I'll be honest. I think when I first came into the game and I was learning quickly through, and I used all these tools. I'm not going to say I don't use AI or Google Lens. I was using all of this as well. But at the same time, I was also reading and taking risks. I was buying things in auctions at high prices to just to handle items. This when I was getting started, just to get a feel for what they were. And I think I probably was quick to thinking, "Oh, I've got the hang of this," and then you'd have a few bad, examples, and then, getting close to you was probably the biggest eye opener of how much I didn't know in certain areas. Like glass, for example, you're pulling.
Well, it wasn't even just that, was it? You had a whole eye opener. Once you started coming around with me, you had an eye opener on how to do the game right.
Yeah.
100%. I think they were your words. You never realised how to do it right until you started coming around with me, Sharon and Rob.
Exactly. It's Sharon and Rob as well. It's just it is an eye opener when you're like in your own little world, and eBay can give you a real illusion of success as well. So you can be selling things a lot on eBay, and you're like getting sale, and every day you're getting sales and everything. When you do your accounts though at the end of the year, and you realize how many of those sales are actually, how much of it is actually yours at the end of it, can be a bit of an eye opener. So, and look, eBay's changing as well. All these platforms are changing how they work to squeeze you and get more money out of you as well. So, yeah, it's I can see where it comes from. That kind of, where they're coming from in terms of why they're like that. But yeah, some of them take it way too far, very sort of sure of themselves, and have probably got quite a big awakening coming up, I suppose, when reality hits. But yeah, I think if you're in this game just for the money, you're going to be disappointed. Is what I'm getting at. You have to really the passion is what gets you through it and gets you through the difficult times and really sort of lets you find those items. You
need passion in this game, because it is the one thing I've always preached and said is there are hundreds of YouTubers now out there who are preaching and teaching and promising quick get rich schemes, quick shortcuts and things like that, and they don't exist. The only way to survive, yes, you may go out tomorrow and buy something for £1 and get £1,000 for it, but the consistency in this game is you buy for £1, you sell for 20 or 30. You buy for £10, you sell for 50 or 60. You buy for 20 quid, you sell for 100. That type of thing. Yes, the big wins come in, and we probably get 10 or 20 of them a year. And we're experienced, and we go out to multiple boot sales a week.
Yeah.
But it's the hard work that gets you through. And if you haven't got the passion for it, then yeah, you're not going to get there. Anyway, Johnny Victorian's put a comment up here. Do you want to give your answer first?
Yeah, I do use it less so at the moment, but I have used it, particularly those bigger items that we talked about. And to be honest, if I come across bigger items again, that's probably where it's going to be a local collection sort of thing. That's where I'll use Facebook Marketplace. I have also used it. So both Walter and I run our own websites, and one thing we probably both got in common is we got similar visions for where we want our websites to go. And I suppose the way I like to put it these days is I want it to be not just a selling platform for me, but kind of like a destination website. So I want people to visit it just to enjoy the content as much as potentially buy something as well. So that's why on all my products, I try and put quite a bit of the history on there. We're writing articles, trying to make it an interesting place to go. Now, one of the things we need is people clicking on the website. What Facebook Marketplace is really good for is if you do put your listings on Facebook Marketplace, is the amount of clicks you get over and just people coming and visiting the website is quite high. It's one of those things that just seems to work quite well for me. So I haven't done as much as I want to, but I will use it again in future. However, if you were using it just as a place just to sell your items, it can be probably one of the most frustrating marketplaces you can get, because there's a lot of time wasters on there. In terms of, is this still available? And then just silence after that. Why they asked, you'll never know. And it's a bit of a slow moving marketplace, I find. So good for the website, not so good.
I'm going to refer to Shannon Robb, and they sell a lot of stuff very, very well, very, very fast on Marketplace. And what they've done, they've joined multiple groups, and when they list their item, they share it into multiple groups, and they do very, very well. Me, on the other hand, I have tried over the last year to use Marketplace, and all I get, as Kieron just said, is messages at midnight or 2 a.m. Is this still available? Yes, it is. Nothing, no reply back. Or people, is this available? Yeah, okay. Can I come and collect it? Yeah. And you give them the address, and nobody ever turns up. So I kind of give up on Marketplace. Now, this last month or so, as you were aware, I've been generating money on purpose because I have a very, very big bill in America. So I've used it for that, but even that wasn't successful. It was a total flop. So no, I can't stand Marketplace. I find it very, very difficult, and I just don't seem to be able to sell on it, no matter what I list. I've put gold on there. As you know, I put gold on there just before Christmas, and it was on there for the scrap price. And didn't sell. All I kept having was people, is it available? Is it available? Is it available? In the end, I took it to my regular bullion dealer, and he bought it for the same price I was selling it on Marketplace, and no hassle. I just give him the gold, and he gave me the same money that I was asking for on Marketplace, and I didn't have to sell it to anyone or deal with anyone.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things about these platforms that I've covered in one of my videos, and I think all resellers, dealers need to be aware of, is that they are all going into this monetizing it through using promote, where you pay money to them to promote it. And I looked at their financial figures, and it's incredible the amount of money they're making. Now, Facebook is all Facebook is advertising, and not just adverts that you see, which is an obvious advert. People, creators, posts, Marketplace, a lot of people are paying to promote their item, and you won't even know that they paid for it, or all you'll see is they show up at the top of all your searches all the time. So that's why it's also a difficult place to sell, is because that's probably what's happened to you, Walter, is that you've just been drowned out because you haven't paid for it, and you've gone into the gold category, and the gold category is going to have loads of listings, and doesn't matter what you're asking for it, you're probably showing up on only a few people's pages. So
yeah. Thank you very much. Happy New Year, or Happy New Year's Eve. Happy New Year to you both. I really enjoy your videos. They bring back happy memories of when I used to be able to do antique face art. Thank you very much, Audrey. I got to be honest with you, I started this journey almost 30 years ago for me. And I used to work things like Swinderby, Newark, Antiques in the Park in Derby. And I used to drive up through the night in my car. I used to have an estate. I put the stuff out, set the stuff out, and then at the end of the day, because some of them were 2 and 3 day events, you'd stay there. I'd cover my stuff over in the boxes outside the car so it was waterproof if it rained, and I'd be sleeping in the back of the car, freezing cold. So yeah, I miss the big antique days. I've been there and done that, and I absolutely loved it. 14,000 for a banjo vase. There you go. Whitefriars banjo vase, 14,000. That's a lot more than I thought. I thought it was about 8,000. But it goes to show you the type of money Whitefriars is pulling now. Things come up, things go down. Staffordshire figures are now worth a fiver. They used to be worth £400-600. But you think they're always going to be worth a fiver? How many now, right? Smart collectors are keeping them on the shelf and saying, well, I like them anyway. How many people now are putting them in landfill and being destroyed? And in another 20 years, there may be so few of them left. What's left is worth thousands because museums or collectors need them. Or historians, you don't know, do you? Things go up, things go down. Plus fees. So there's another 30% almost to go on that because it's 20% plus VAT. So yeah, there's another 3 or 4 grand to go on there. Happy and successful New Year. Thank you very much. And same to you. Mid-century stuff, mid-century modern stuff seems to be the new bread and butter bill payer. Saying that, Kieron just sold Danish coffee table, nest of tables set in auction, Danish, mid-century, with the tile tops. For how much?
Oh, there was like £9.
There's no guarantees in this game anymore at all.
Mid-century, if you're talking about the furniture, if you talk to anyone around this part of the world, so we're in South Wales, any of the sort of furniture dealers, there's a lot of mid-century dealers around here. But a lot of the ones I speak to say with Urkel, forget Urkel now, it's out. And it's people only buy the blonde Urkel. And there are a few scrupulous dealers who actually like, what's it called, polish back the grain so it looks like it's blonde, and then later on it will come back up and stuff like that. But yeah, that's just what the ones around here. I don't buy furniture anymore, but that's what a lot of them say is mid-century is not as, it has to be something quite special now. But I do then wonder, well, is that a regional thing? Is that true all across the country, or is that just a South Wales thing?
I don't know, but you put good gear into the auction house, such as the Danish tables. I put some nice things in the auction house. And not being funny, my auction house, I didn't even know, was selling stuff for £1. I didn't even know auction houses went that low anymore. And they were selling Canterbury's and chairs and that for £1 each.
Yeah.
You know, in fact, 50p was the lowest price I achieved for one item because they put the 2 petrol pump station covers in one lot and sold them for £1 for the 2. That's 50p a cover for gas and oil related petrol station covers.
Yeah. Unbelievable that was.
You've lost your sound key.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah. Now you're back. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just saying it was unbelievable.
Shocking, wasn't it?
Yeah. I was going to say you looked like you were filming in a cave or something.
It was in the dark, and now I got the light on me. Well, it's the best I can do a minute. That's the joys of being stuck upstairs because we're in Christmas and everybody is home and I can't film downstairs. And my office is a storeroom a minute. I got so much stuff. I've been working through plans. I've got major plans for my website for 26. I'll talk to you about them in a moment. Major changes, major plans going ahead for me. So yeah, I'm going to get into what's coming in 26 in a little bit. So, Johnny, thank you very much. I hope you have a happy New Year too. We'll get back to some comments in a bit, but we both picked a few favorite items to share. Now, do you want to go first or do you want to go second? What do you want to do?
Go on, I'll go first. Let me just share my screen then.
Yeah, share your screen and I'll add it in. So basically, we've both picked a couple of pieces that we felt capture the joy of what we do, which is going to car boot sale, buying stuff for a couple of pence, a couple of pounds, and selling it for a fortune, which we all like to do.
Mm.
There you go. Ah, this one, right.
So we're on, yeah. So, yeah, I picked out 3 things. Now, the first 2 are my 2 best ones by far. This is the best thing I've ever found, and that happened this year. Now, strangely enough, this was found at an auction, even though I don't really bid on auctions anymore. But this is kind of an interesting one to show what we were talking about earlier on about passion and being a treasure hunter and taking risks and stuff. So this bowl was described in auction as a Japanese bowl, translucent bowl. As you can see, it's an incredible thing. Now, it's fine porcelain, as fine as it gets, and it has this amazing translucent effect that's been carved out of the porcelain and then fired a very specific way to create this effect. And this is a, I did after getting it. I should say, so I've done a video on this. I'm probably not going to do it justice how I'm speaking about it now, but please go back and watch the video because I did go into a lot of detail and tell the story about how I came across it. In auction, it was just described effectively as a Japanese bowl, and no one bid on it. I bid 20 quid on it. I didn't know why it was, but I just loved this effect. And then when I got home and did the research, I discovered that this was the work by Iguchi Harazon, this guy here. His works are only found in museums. 3 museums in the world hold his work, 2 of them being in Japan. And he created what he knows Ganzu ware, and this is just an exceptionally rare thing. Yeah, and there's all the information there. So for 20 quid, no one bid on it in an auction, just because I assumed because they couldn't Google Lens it and couldn't find it. And I ended up having the best buy I've ever had. So it just goes to show that sometimes when you just want to take risks and you just love an item and you think, you know what, I want to buy it just to find out what it is, that can sometimes work out in your favor. So that's the top one for me.
Right.
Next one is I picked this up at an antiques fair. It's a Beijing enamel tray, mark and period. This was an antiques fair and I bought it for £5. So this is all enamel work. What makes it so special is it has, I mean, look, you can just look at what's going on here. You got this longevity symbol in the center. You got these bats surrounding it. Auspicious symbols of Buddhism, all painted into the decoration, and it has this mark here. And it actually turns out to be a very rare item. It's a mark and period from the Daozhang period, which was, have I put in here? I think it's probably around 1830. Very rare to find a mark and period piece of enamel like this. Bought for £5, sent off to Mr. Peter Coombs, who we've used quite a lot this year, both of us.
Yeah, we have.
And for good reason. He's an incredible expert when it comes to Asian art, and he confirmed that it was mark and period and valued it as well. So there we go, and that's how much is the asking price is on that one.
So that's £1,200 by there for a £5.
Yeah. The final
so
one.
What did you rate the first one at? Because the first one, the price was price on request. So what was the first one estimated at?
He didn't give an estimate on the basis he said he couldn't, because there's no sold history for this guy. His works are only in museums, so he hasn't shown up in auction. That's how rare his works are. It's his advice was wait with it. Wait until, because this guy's produced so little that he's not the most well-known name even to collectors, but he believes that at some point he will have exhibitions and he will be rediscovered, and that will be the point when the demand will be highest. So that was Peter's advice, was just don't worry about values.
But you've got price on application, so what would you accept if somebody come in to you and said, how much is this bowl?
I don't know if I want to
put you on spot now, wouldn't I?
Yeah, I don't know if I want to. And you're in the same boat as me, I think, on that one with what
Oh, I
you're
am.
going to mention. So,
Well, yeah, but I know what I want on mine.
I don't know.
Mine's not going for under six figures. There's a difference.
I don't know if I'm going to be that expensive. Certainly not. But yeah, I'm still thinking it through. To be honest, I haven't got a decision. I haven't come to a final decision on what I'd accept. So I'm not putting it out there because as soon as I put the prices out there, that's how much it's worth, and then it'll be bidding down from there, won't it? So there we go. We'll wait and see on that one. The third one, there's loads of things could have been put in this as this third example, but I've chosen this one because it was a boot sale find.
Yeah.
So yeah, car boot sale. Lady showed up with a stall for this. Where was this one?
Goitra,
that was the one.
I was there.
Yes. So this sign here, she just shoved down the table. Turned out to be Victorian era, reverse painted on glass, late 19th century. It's like a projecting shop sign. So it would swing out, and I'm guessing it was a stall, and that was their stall number. These are actually very rare to find. Even though, this late 19th century, you maybe think that a lot of them would have survived, but they just didn't. They're glass, so I guess they're just getting smashed and stuff like that. It really gives you that vision of a Victorian sort of market. Sorry, were you going to say something then? No, sorry. Yeah, it just I just think that'd be an amazing, like in a prop in, for a TV show or film for that period. This is all like really hard work as well, kind of this gilding. I have put quite a high figure on it, I gotta say. I just realised now. So I'll think about that one, but it's not going to be far south of that. That was just that's based on sold prices I would have seen for an item like this, and it's just quite a unusual and rare thing. So there we go, sort of thing you can find at a car boot sale.
I want to just briefly talk about how opinions change an item. Now, first of all, your £20 Japanese porcelain bowl at the beginning, because they weren't passionate enough to do the research on it to identify it, it just got chucked in as a general Japanese porcelain bowl sold for 20 quid. Now doing the research, you and I both know it's worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
Same with your second piece. Now, you went to a Welsh antique fair. Was it Gardens or something? Something Gardens, Botanic Gardens or something like that. You went to, and an antique dealer handled that and sold it to you off their stall for £5. Same with the Victorian sign. Another antique dealer sold it to you for £40, £50, whatever it was on the day, because I was there. Yeah. And it goes to show how different dealers look at different things, and different dealers will do research on things. Now, they've obviously bought it in very cheap. They've just looked at it, done a general assessment. Oh, okay, that's an enamel tray. I'll chuck 10, 20 quid on that. I'll chuck 40, 50 quid on that. Whereas if they've done the research, if they had the passion enough to do the research and learn about the history of the item, they would have seen the true values.
100%.
Just strengthens what we were saying earlier about the passion and the history and the love of the items. They're all searching for the quick hit, the quick, easy money, and they're giving it away because they're not willing to put that passion and the work into it.
Yeah. Well, what about the road trip battle as well? We had a similar thing I had where a beautiful Chinese goods on a bowl was sold for £5, and the sign on the price tag just said £5 because of this small bit of damage, and it just had an arrow pointing to the damage. Now the damage was superficial; it was little scratch.
And you sold it for 165 within a day.
165. Don't know within a day, but certainly within a week.
No, it was within the day of the video going out.
Oh yeah. It was very quick after the video went out. Someone saw it and loved it, and it was one of those. I was wondering to myself if I'd let that go because it was such an unusual pattern. I discovered it was known as the lotus pond pattern. So that kind of blue ground figure, and then all the flowers and stuff with the lotus was deliberate. It was meant to show it, meant to be a pond. Not done very much, but anyway, similar sort of thing. Looked at it as damaged and said £5. It's it goes as you say, it goes to show how different dealers look at things differently. and I will not just make out that I'm any different, because I've done it as well. And we were talking earlier on some things you bought for me. We were talking about the silver tongs. Now, I knew nothing about silver. I saw they were marked, but I couldn't identify the mark. So I was like, well, they're not silver then, are they? I didn't even cross my mind that they could be, I think they were Belgium silver or something like that.
Yeah.
I didn't look at them in terms of quality. I looked at them as a pair of sugar tongs, but you picked them up and looked at them straight away and goes, oh my God, that's amazing. So that just plays to that. And that's why experience matters, and your failures are as important as your successes in this game.
You will learn far more from a mistake, from a loss, from a failure than you ever will from a success. Because with a success, you will forget about it in no time at all.
Yeah.
Since we've mentioned these tongs twice, I'm going to share them.
There you go.
These I bought off Kieron himself. Now, this is the handle at the end of the tongue that picks up the sugar cubes. Look at the quality of the paw there, and you've got the snake wrapped around the paw. Absolutely phenomenal. That's them there. They were a good weight as well, good few ounces. There's the mark. Better image of the mark there. That's how you couldn't identify it, because it wasn't a standard lion patent mark. But yeah, look at the quality of them. So yeah. And Kieron sold those for £2 to me at the boot sale in Hengoed. So we're all guilty for it. And not just Kieron, I'm guilty of it too. I sold an 8-carat gold necklace a year or two ago because I didn't recognize the gold mark, and I should have done. It had a German 8-carat gold mark on there, and I had my phone. I looked at the mark. I thought, well, it looks like gold, but it's nothing I recognize. And I thought I knew all the gold marks and silver marks. I got to be honest with you. I just thought it was a plated mark, and I just let it go for 50p, and it was probably a couple of grams of 8-carat gold German. So we all make these mistakes.
Yeah.
But there's a difference between making a simple mistake like that because you didn't recognize a hallmark or something, to actually assuming everything is rubbish if you don't automatically see high value or high return in it. You know, you got to research it. It just strengthened what we were talking about earlier. Now, I'll share my couple of pieces. This is my first one. Is it on the screen?
Yeah.
Am I sharing it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't make sure I was sharing. Right. So this is my first one, which is a 19th century Minton Majolica comport, and it's absolutely huge. 12 inches tall. Just to give you an idea, this was listed in a charity shop in Porthcawl as reproduction. So they actually had it listed as reproduction in the Minton style. And if they'd actually turned it over and looked at it, it was fully stamped, fully marked. That was sold for £40. Now, I don't know who done the valuations for the charity shop, but I've had a lot of dealers look at it now, and yeah, it's 100% right. 19th century Minton, and Minton were the Rolls Royce of Majolica of the 19th century. There wasn't a better factory. And that is a massive, beautiful piece. It cost me £40. I got £12.50 on it.
Really?
I've got no sound coming off you. Are you still there?
I'm still here, yeah.
Your sound's disappearing a lot. Right, and this one, you'll know about this one. This one almost got me banned from Hengoed. Basically, Hengoed's a car boot sale, and you and I used to sell in there only to walk around before they opened to the public. Because we never made any money in there, let's be totally frank. We'd go to the car boot sale to sell, and we'd sit there for 5 hours selling to make 20, 30 quid. But I got to walk around all the stores before people come in. And this is one of the things I bought towards the end of the season before they stopped us walking around altogether. It was probably because of this paperweight they stopped us. And this is a 19th century Klitschy lampwork paperweight. And this cost me £1 in Hengoed, car boot sale. And I put it up on, I said to you on the day, didn't I, when I bought it, I said, this is a Klitschy.
Yeah.
I put it on the paperweight group on Facebook, and I had about 150, 200 comments on it. Everybody saying how beautiful it was, that it was Klitschy. And I had 3 people message me privately off the group trying to buy it, and there was a big fight over it. And I just said, look, I'm not arguing with anybody. I'm going to put it up for £500. First one buys it, has it. And it sold within minutes of me listing it. So that was amazing for a pound to 500 within 24 hours. They don't all happen like that.
And look at the
And then this is the buy of my life. Much like you, which you had your best buy ever, which was that Japanese porcelain. This is my best buy of my life. There's nothing better than this I've ever bought in my life. This is a I Ching teapot by a top living master in the world, who is Yun or Lu Shaoling, if that's how I'm pronouncing his name correct. And I picked this up in the same car boot sale, Hengoid car boot sale, walking on before they even opened the doors. And all these applied panels with all the scroll work and everything, absolutely gorgeous. Look at all that work. And he is literally one of the top 10 masters in the world in this stuff. I Ching is fully signed up on the base. And this is another one I sent to Peter Coombs. I done my research on this before I contacted Peter Coombs. And some of these pieces were selling for 30 to 40,000 in auction some 25, 30 years ago. What do you want, darling? No, not in a minute. I'll come back in a bit. Come back. No, don't look at me like that. So yeah, that piece come in for £3. Come on. Hey. Love you. They come in for £3, and I won't let it go for less than 100,000. It's got call for price on there, and I'll tell you up front, plain and simple. The gentleman is still alive. It's been confirmed real by Peter Coombs, and that will stay with me for the rest of my life unless somebody offers me 100,000 plus. When the artist, the master, dies, I have no doubt that his pieces are going to go up in value. Masters from the 1940s are selling for 1.6 million.
Yeah.
So it's got real potential there, but it won't go. It'll stay with me and my collection. If someone offered me 50,000 for it tomorrow, I would say no.
It's interesting that you've probably had the same as me, like with that bowl. Like people every now and again will say, "Oh, have you sold that bowl yet?" Then, or that's not the point as such. It's not that type of item. I think as soon as it's an interesting point with values. So when you hit the £1,000 mark, if you're asking more than that, you shouldn't be asking £1,000 to get £1,000 tomorrow, unless it's something that's guaranteed, like scrap gold worth that much or something like that. When you get past that £1,000 mark, you sit on it and you wait for the right person to come along who wants it at that moment. Sometimes that person will need a year to think about it, and just contemplate buying it and stuff like that, or building up the funds, that type of thing. Now, what we do sometimes is all about, and it's the same with me with that Japanese bowl. There's no rush for me to sell it, and it won't define me selling it either. I'm happy to found it and appreciate it, and it's in my possession. And if that stays with me for the rest of my life, then that's fine by me as well. So
yeah.
Sometimes you find goes back to the passion, doesn't it? Sometimes you find things where it's bigger than the money. It's kind of confirmation, and it just shows why you do it, and it just shows that you did the right thing and you got into the game to find stuff like that, and you achieved it.
The only category in this world there's only two categories where you can find an item at a boot sale for £1 and become a millionaire overnight: is art or Chinese art, as in Chinese porcelain. They're the only two categories realistically in this world you're going to become a millionaire overnight if you hit on the right thing. The amount of Chinese pieces bought at car boot sales, found in house clearances that sell for millions is shocking. Same with art. There are pieces, still lost pieces out there of masters that could turn up one day. So you've got to learn, you've got to try, haven't you? But like with our teapot now, I know it's 100% real. There isn't another one out there like it. There are similar works in different color clays and things like that. But much like your artist, he's only in top museums in the world. You cannot buy his stuff privately. There is none of his stuff on the market. The last time a piece sold was £25,000, £30,000, 25, 30 years ago. I don't see the point in me selling that for £10,000, £20,000, and then someone in 5-10 years' time, when he's passed on, selling it for £1 million. Yeah, I'd rather it stay with me and I enjoy it.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? You can sell it for a quick buck, but how would you feel? Yeah, if you see the story, then it goes out and it achieves 5-6 times that. So,
well, look at that Ming vase that's just been sold. We won't name the auction house or the auctioneer. We've done a video on it. And somebody has taken a Chinese porcelain vase with provenance, might I add, to an auctioneer. They can date it back to the late 19th century, confirmed with provenance. And it was listed by the auction house as a Ming-style vase for £100 auction estimate, and it sold for £100,000. Now, you've got to ask yourself, first of all, that auctioneer was obviously willing to sell it for £80 to £100. If it had a £100 estimate on it, the reserve would have been below the estimate.
Mm-hmm.
So because he wasn't confident enough or passionate enough to do the research on there or send it off for an expert, he was happy to let that go at £80 if that's what it sold for. It then reached £100,000 for this Chinese porcelain vase, which is probably an 800 or 900-year-old vase. I can't remember off the top of my head. You're talking 900-year-old porcelain vase, which is probably one of a kind in the world. What could that have pulled? Advertised correctly, listed in a major auction house like Sotheby's or Christie's to the right buyers in China. You and I have had private discussions on it, and our opinions are it's probably already sold for 7 figures to someone privately in China.
Well, I would have thought so.
Because there won't be another one in the world.
No.
You've got to do the work.
Yeah. That is, to me, that was... You got to be careful what you say. But
be careful of your wording.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to look at the story as more than just what's been written on the page. Anyway, £100 to £200 valuation with provenance of where it's come from, and then celebrating it as if you've done something amazing for the buyer by selling it for £100,000. No,
well, let's be honest, right? The Guangzhou period, 1875 to 1908, even if it came for that period with confirmation, with all that provenance, it should have been worth hundreds, not £100.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's too odd of a story, that one, and I'll let people look into the story and make their own conclusions to it. But
I would be embarrassed to state that something sold for £100,000 in my auction house that I was happy to sell for £80 to £100.
Yeah, like even if you don't want to get into like what sits behind it, it just shows a utter degree of incompetence to me. Yeah, we'll leave that one there before I put my foot in it. But,
yes. Okay, Katie's Vintage Corner. I sell eBay mostly trying to get out of it, but it's a long road. I wouldn't do it if I didn't love what I do. Definitely not about getting rich quick for me. I love learning about things. I don't know if you've seen my hoarder videos, but I don't think anybody is worse than me. Trust me on loving the stuff. I've been accused many a time of loving the stuff more than any potential buyer out there. But what I would say is this. Why are you trying to get out of the game unless you're looking to retire if you love it? eBay is an animal that sucks the joy and the life out of this business, as far as I'm concerned. There are better ways of doing it. I've been preaching for years for people to start up websites and things. I've been doing videos teaching people how to start up websites and start their own businesses up. eBay now, somebody's actually left a comment today on my Facebook, on my YouTube channel, and they said eBay have just taken 29% of their sale as a total. That's before promoted listings. And as you know, Keith, promoted listings on your page were recommended at 25%. They just suck the life out of it. No, you don't have to use promoted listings. And I'm assuming that 29% they were business sellers, because I don't think it's that much for private sellers. I think it's free mostly.
Yeah.
But if eBay's sucking the life out of it, if you try and find another route, because if you love antiques, I got to be honest with you, right? I can see me doing this till I die. Not stopping at 60, 70 or 80. Just going out, even if I'm in a wheelchair, old and decrepit, I'll go out to antique fairs, I'll go somewhere and I'll look and I'll enjoy and I'll love pieces, and I'll still buy pieces if I'm 70 or 80, just to enjoy them and have them. You got any views on that?
So you can identify all the good stuff for me.
You are?
I'll be wheeling you around so you can spot all the good stuff for me.
And point it out to you, is it?
Yeah.
Makes mistakes in buying, but I see it as an opportunity to learn. 100%. Do you know? Yeah. I done a creation video years and years ago, and I told people I actually spent probably £10,000 or £20,000 buying broken bits of Chinese porcelain and buying broken 18th century drinking glasses just to have pieces you had to handle. Now, everybody would look at an 18th century drinking glass with a chip out of it as worthless. Everybody'd look at an 18th century Chinese porcelain plate snapped in half as worthless. But to me, I used to pay for them. And I used to pay bloody good money for them just to have the example. So if I read a book, you could pick it up and you can handle it. You'd feel the weight of the plate or the glass. You'd feel how it felt in your fingers. You'd look at the colors of the enamels, things like that. People really don't realize the value in buying the broken pieces for study and learn and research and academic purposes. If you want to learn law, you go to university, you get £100,000 in student loans and all the rest of it, and do 4, 5, 6 years learning law. If you want to learn antiques, you still got to do your tuition.
Yeah, you'll pay for your education. No, I think what Katie said there is spot on with all of it. What I think you'll find is that approach, the passion approach, rather than the profit approach, will, funnily enough, that will get you the most profit. That's where you'll spot and find the items that you can't Google Lens, or you can only get because you've made those mistakes, or you've handled things that most people leave them because they're broken, all that sort of stuff. In the long run, that will benefit you a lot more than just buying stuff just for quick flips all the time.
Do you know, people buy stuff for the quick flip, and they'll make a little bit of money, and then they'll run out for the next quick flip. And I think you'll appreciate this, Key, because we see them at the car boot sales beating us. Mm-hmm. We see people run into the next stall, literally run into the next stall to get there before us, and they'll buy some, and then they'll quick flip it on, and they'll make 20, 30 quid, and then they'll run to the next stall and they buy something else that they'll flip on for 20, 30 quid. Whereas that first item, they may have flipped it to me for 20, 30 quid, and I might be selling it for 500 down the road.
Yeah.
Just because I put that extra work into it.
Mm-hmm.
What's your best selling category? Well, the category with the most potential has to be Oriental arts, whether that's cloisonne, Beijing enamel, Chinese porcelain, Chinese art. Oriental art is the best category in the world at the moment. It's the hottest category in the world. Other than that, my biggest selling category is glass, because it spans so much. Mine, it could be 18th century drinking glasses, Victorian glass, it could be Murano glass. Glass, as a rule, for me, takes up probably 50% of my site.
Yeah,
it's a huge portion of my business, glass.
Well, I definitely agree with the Oriental. I think that's it's not just people from China and Japan buying the stuff. It's also got a big following with Westerners who like to collect it as well. So that's by far the best category in terms, really. But yeah, on that list here, glasses, you are right with that, by the way. I don't have anywhere near as much glass as you, and I'm not as well versed with it and know as much, but I do notice, especially recently, that so much of it is sold. I remember with clearance, I got a load of like Stuart Crystal glasses, like brandy glasses, and who were the other ones? Edinburgh Crystal. They all sold like this month, basically. I know I think it's a December thing. And I was kind of surprised. I always thought, well, it's clear glass, it's crystal. Do people still want it? But they do. It's if I ever see these sort of glasses now, drinking glasses in boxes and stuff, I'll be trying to get them because I know they do move quite fast. So, and that's just one area.
Let me give you an eye opener. Okay, let me give you an eye opener on everyone else, right? Every time you go to a car boot sale, and every stall you go to, there's almost a box of drinking glasses on the floor. Though they go into their mother's house, they go into their granny's house, and they always have the glass cabinet full of little drinking glasses and things like that they look at and they think are worthless. They go to a car boot sale, and I can tell you now, 99% of the 18th century drinking glasses I bought and sold in my life have come in at car boot sale for less than £1, because I go through them boxes of glasses on the floor.
Yeah, this is a coming year thing for me. It's definitely a big area that I need to pick up on. I think my Melbourne video was an eye opener for that as well, because you spotted something in my video that I didn't even give a glance to, which was that amazing.
Yeah, there was a Georgia III comport. Tatsa comport, folded rim, folded foot, beautiful thing, about £400 to £500 worth, and you didn't even look at it.
Yeah.
And I was screaming down the TV at you to pick it up.
Yeah.
But, as you know, I've got some absolutely amazing videos on how to identify 18th century glass. So anybody can watch them. They're there. But yeah, for me, it is glass or Oriental. What's your other one? Oriental and what?
For me, it's probably ceramics. It probably is ceramic. Like there's other things I'm thinking of. I do well with like sculptures, like a lot of wood sculptures and bronze sculptures as well, like and folk arty things. But I'm pretty sure it's ceramics. But that's more of an indicator of how much ceramics I've got. Ceramics is what got me into this and where I learned a lot first of all. So I always have a good amount of ceramics on there anyway. So it probably would be that for me.
Before I move off this comment, can I just say one thing, and you'll probably agree with me on this. The category isn't really important. The quality of the item is more important. It doesn't matter whether it's, as you've just sold now, a Royal Doulton experimental glazed vase, whether it's an oil painting, whether it's a handmade piece of Murano. The item doesn't matter. It's the fact that somebody has spent a lifetime learning a skill to create something. It's the quality and the time and the love and the passion they've put into making that item. That's what sells the item. Rather than looking at a category of item, you were better off looking at the quality of item. When you're out buying, instead of saying, well, I'm only going to buy glass, or I'm only going to buy ceramics, or I'm only going to buy art, instead say to yourself, I'm only going to buy something that's handmade. I'm only going to buy something that's hand painted. I'm only going to buy something that somebody has had to work for 10 or 20 or 30 years to learn a skill to create, instead of something that's coming off a production line. That's the way I work. That's the way you work, I believe.
Yeah.
We look at studio pieces, and even those, some of the studio art, if somebody has put their passion, their love, their skills into it, that's what other people tend to buy better than a category.
100%. Agree with that completely.
I've been watching Peter Coombs based on your recommendations. Now, Peter Coombs of the old days, I never missed a video, because Peter Coombs used to do videos on eBay and run-of-the-mill things that you'd find. Things up to £500, up to £1,000, stuff you would find out there, rank badges, Chinese bronzes, jade, buckles, you name it. He would do stuff that you could find at car boot sales. I find now he does a lot more on auction reviews and things like that. And I'm not as interested in £1 million pieces as I am, what can I make a couple of £1,000 on at a car boot sale? He is, without a doubt, as far as I'm concerned, one of the top experts in the world on Oriental art, without a shadow of a doubt. But when I watch his videos, I watch his older videos. I don't watch his newer ones, because I have no interest in what Sotheby's are selling or Christie's are selling, because you're not going to find that stuff on the boot sales. And if you did, you should know enough to think, oh my God, look at that, I'm going to buy it anyway.
Totally.
I don't know what you think of that.
No, I think you're right. He has changed up quite a bit now, and it is very much, his videos around Sotheby's and, specialist auctions and stuff. It's interesting to watch. It's more background for me. I'll have it on because I like seeing the items, but it's not about spotting stuff in the wild.
I've learned loads of him. Yeah. I genuinely, from his old videos, he has got a video there, right, that is 46 minutes long or 50 minutes long, something like that. And he talks about how to identify Ming and Qing porcelain. Now, the first 5 to 10 minutes is about Ming porcelain, how to identify them from foot rims, from the body of the glaze and things like that. And then he spends the other 30, 40 minutes of the video, whatever it is, talking all about Kangxi and 18th century pieces. If you haven't seen it, I've watched that video about 50 times. And it is such an eye-opener to show you what type of porcelain you're looking for, what grain you're looking for in the texture, the glazes. He talks about how the decoration is as important as the pot itself because of the way it's painted. It can't be stiff, got to be freeform. I've seen now one video over 50 times. If I'm at an antique fair, right, while I'm waiting to go in, I'm watching that video, because it is such a good video on how to identify early 18th century Chinese porcelain, or even Ming and transitional pieces, because he covers those as well in the beginning of the video. If you haven't seen that video, honestly, you don't know what you're missing. It's amazing.
Oh, I can look that one up. It doesn't ring a bell. The ones I've watched of his quite a lot, like the fakes. He does videos, they're long videos as well, on like
he started a series where he was doing educational videos. He done videos on monochrome, he done videos on Famille Rose, Rose Mandarin, all that type of thing. But one of his earlier ones, although that educational series, was how to spot the porcelain from the foot rims and that.
Yeah.
And it's how to identify Ming and early Qing porcelain.
Yeah.
And I'm not kidding you, right? It might be an hour long, right? The first bit is on Ming, the second bit's on early Qing, Kangxi, Yongchen, and Qinglong. And I'm not kidding you, it's one of the best videos you'll ever see.
Well, the footlimbs one goes right up to the modern period as well. I think he's done like part 2, part 3 on them as well. So
he might have done, but honestly, I've learned loads off him. But his older videos are what I watch, not his newer videos. I'm not interested in movie posters. You interested in movie posters, Kay? Happy New Year to you, though, Matt.
Happy New Year. I only because I don't really know anything about them, so I'd have to. I wouldn't know what.
Send Kieron a text message on his email. He'll consider them.
Yeah, you're welcome to. Be good to see him.
I think that's how businesses work. When I go around big fairs, I look for traders who don't sell glass and aren't interested enough to do research it. Exactly that. Glass is a very hard subject. Only this week, I went to the Philly charity shops, as you know, and I picked up a pair of 15.5-inch tall Victorian Uwas, or early 20th century Uwas. Hand-blown vertical ribbon, very much in the arts and crafts style, maybe a fraction later, I don't know, maybe as late as 1920s, but they were nice, they were huge, and they were £5 each. And I found examples up for sale for £1,200.
Well, you've got to do that.
So glass is a good category.
As a dealer at Antiques Fair, the last people you should go to is the specialists, really.
I don't go to specialists at all. I skip past any specialist stall because they'll know more knowledge than me. Yeah, but I will go to any house clearance stall. I'll go to any general dealer stall because there's only so much knowledge a dealer can have.
Yeah.
And if they don't put the research in, you can get some amazing bargains off them.
Exactly.
Thank you very much. I do absolutely love that mint done. How would I learn Japanese and Chinese ceramics? Now, the first thing I would do is tell you to go and watch every single one of Peter Coombs' video. By the time you finish watching his entire library, and this is not a paid promotion, this is not a commission-based, I watched almost every single video the man has done up until probably 8 months ago to 12 months ago. I watched every single video and some of them dozens and dozens of times. Honestly, the stuff you will learn, especially from his earlier videos, he shares some amazing knowledge. And he's a dealer that's been in this trade doing Chinese and Oriental pieces for most of his life, I believe.
I think
you on the subject, your fortune. You
have to buy and sell. You have to take the risk and the plunge as well. You can read and watch all you want, but you will have to just start buying it and taking a chance, and you will get fakes. The amount of fakes in Oriental pieces is unbelievable. For every one real piece out there on the market, there's probably 99 fakes. So if you don't have the knowledge and you don't have the books, don't part with a lot of money. Don't think you found some amazing thing that nobody else has ever seen. If you're buying stuff in for £5, £10, £20 and it turns out fake, that's part of your education that I talked about at the very beginning. When I paid all that myself. Hello, sweetheart. You okay again? Coaches again, is it?
Yes.
Yeah. No jumping around, please, okay? So that's just your education you're going to have to pay for. But just be aware, there's a lot of fakes out there. You and myself, we've both found some beautiful pieces of 18th century Chinese this year. In fact, Madley's one of the best car boot sales I've ever had for that. We went the first half of the season. Every single week, we pulled a piece of 18th century Chinese out of it, whether it was me or you.
Yeah. Well, right up to the end, I got an amazing little Canton enamel out of there as well. Right at the end with the European scene. So that was the last Madley.
Yeah, that was the last week before shutdown, wasn't it? And what do you have? You had like 250 or something like that for a fiver again, wasn't it, or something like that?
Yeah, it was a 500 250. Yeah, and that was had a lot of damage on it and everything as well, but it shot straight out.
See, we're not chasing the values and the profits. We're chasing the history and the love of the items, but the value comes with those good items.
Yeah. I was also going to say with Chinese and Japanese antiques, if you want to learn, don't rely on the Facebook groups, which I know you agree with.
Katie, honestly, my entire YouTube channel is designed to teach people how to move away from eBay how to work on their own website. We've done videos, both myself and Kieron, on this, and with eBay, as a business, you're losing best part of 50% of your turnover. On my website, I keep 98, 99% of my turnover. Honestly, check my videos out. I do have a membership site. It's £1 a week. It's a whole £1 a week. And there's over 100 videos on there that are all educational. But honestly, if you want help to get away from eBay and start your own website up, me and Kieron will certainly help you there. Because the videos we got doing it are, well, neither of us, I haven't been on eBay for 6 years. And I haven't needed to go back to eBay at all. I'm doing more money on my website than I ever did on eBay, and I keep it all. And I think you were working towards being eBay free, platform dependency.
Oh, 100%, yeah. eBay is just clearance for me now. It's sparingly used.
Thank you very much. We'll hopefully see you after your car ride home. Right, so this is it's been a long video already. So what's your plans for 26?
So big one for me is the website mentioned earlier on. I'd like it to be a destination website, kind of like a hub where if I'm loading new items up, if you're a lover of antiques and you love the stories and the histories behind them, that's a place you go and you just learn about them. Of course, it'd be even better to get the buys off the back of that. But it's also around expanding my videos and my content as well. So I've had some, anyone who follows my channel, you would have seen I've had some difficulties with YouTube monetization at the moment. So that's currently paused. Hopefully that's going to be fixed soon. But I am doing videos on just Patreon at the minute, which are also members videos. So it's the Journals of an Antique Dealer I'm doing, which is a weekly episode with behind the scenes and showing you what it's like as a full-time antique dealer. My plan is to do that throughout the year and hopefully grow a lot of interest in that. Eventually bring it to YouTube membership, but I have to wait until they fix that for me. I kind of just go on from there and just see where the world takes me. But I guess we want to, probably true of both of us, we want to be finding more exciting things this year as well. So just can't wait for those markets to go back open for us two to go back out on the road and see what comes of it.
That's fair enough. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with them goals at all. Chrissy. My goals, as you know, I've already got one of the largest privately owned antique websites in the world anyway. I got 8,000 products on there, hundreds of articles on there, and I've got 1,100 YouTube videos with 3 million views, 41,500 subscribers. And I offer services. I don't think there's anyone out there matches it. Plus, I've got 2 published books which I offer through the site. So I already think I'm one of the largest it is. However, my plans for 2026 are even bigger, even grander. I plan on doubling the products, doubling the articles. I want as many products on there as I can, as many articles on there as I can, but I also want all my media under the same house. So I'm paying to have someone make courses out of the media I've already got. So there'll be courses added this year. And all my media, I'm going to be platform dependent free. I'm not even going to be dependent on YouTube by the end of this because people can then access my videos through my own website. I'll be the first platform out there in the world that offers media, entertainment, education, articles, products, valuation services, published books, and all the rest of it, all under one house.
Mm-hmm.
That's my goal for 2026. And as you know yourself, I've been putting 12 and 14-hour days into achieving it.
Yeah. Well, I haven't got any doubts. I think you're well on that road. So it's going to be fascinating to see how that develops. That's big. That's big plans.
It is. And on top of all that, Gracie, please stop. Please. Look, I love you. Please stop. Okay? I will put you to bed. I will. School holidays. Christmas. I can't wait. She goes back to school next week. This is Gracie Bell, by the way, if I haven't introduced her already. So yeah, and on top of all that, I'm also dealing with major issues in America and all the rest of it. Gracie, please. Please. Come on, sit down. Go and get me a reborn and sit down and cuddle up there. Go on. She's
Right,
7 in 2 days. So she's super excited. She's just got over Christmas and it's her birthday in 2 days and she turns 7. So she's super excited. So yeah, my goals for 26 are extremely grand. I've been putting, when the seasons ended in, what would you say, October, November? Did they even make November? I don't think they did they? I think if they did, it was at the start. So for the last 2 months, I've been putting 12 to 14-hour days in, improving product descriptions, rewriting articles, and doing all the work. And I want to be the biggest, most unique platform in the world, offering everything under one roof. That's what I want.
Oh, it's an amazing idea. As we've spoken about it, I've never seen it done. So I can't wait to see how that develops. But that's perfect, isn't it? I think the challenge is it's difficult to communicate the challenges we have with like YouTube and stuff because not many people have that do it and stuff. But yeah, just it's all the stuff that a lot of you would have faced with eBay with how that works and like the skimming off the top and your fight to climb up the listings and all that sort of stuff. YouTube's like that but worse. So
YouTube's worse because this year you and I have both had to deal with what we considered shadow banning because we covered some controversial topics, including tool theft and all the rest of it. And I wasn't shy on putting blame. So we both dealt with what we believe was a shadow ban. We're also both unwilling to pay for promotion on YouTube, which means we don't get pushed. We done a video on it, didn't we, you and I, where we believe a lot of the YouTubers are paying to promote on eBay to get their sales, then paying promote on YouTube to push the fact they're getting the sales on eBay and to grow their brand on YouTube. And in all honesty, after all that, most of the money's gone to promote, gone to eBay and gone to YouTube. Where's their profits? We're unwilling to pay for it. Many people have commented this year saying, well, your videos are absolutely fabulous. Your channel's amazing. How come you don't get the views everyone else gets? It's because we don't pay for promote and we don't, we got suppressed. So by moving all that under my own website, people can access it through my website as well. I'll control my own traffic. And to do that, I even started a newsletter up this last couple of weeks with thousands of subscribers already. And I plan on driving my own traffic through newsletters. I want to be platform dependency free by the end of 26. I don't want to be reliant on any platform that can turn me off. And I've always preached that with eBay.
Yeah.
That eBay can throw a switch anytime and delete your account. And YouTube's exactly the same. Now, I got 1,100 videos on YouTube to protect.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just little things with YouTube as well. Like you've got 1,100 videos. It's not very user-friendly, actually. You know, in terms of if somebody watches one of your videos and thinks, well, I like this video and I want to follow it. Like, you know, if you went on Netflix, you'd watch a series episode. Now, I know we don't do episodes and series and stuff, but a lot of people would prefer to watch things in kind of chronological order or, you know, follow you as your journey goes by. YouTube doesn't offer that unless you go through the settings and manually do it and stuff like that. So, yeah, doing it for your own platform means that you can create, not just put all the videos there, but you can also make it a lot more user-friendly and allow people to kind of follow the journey. Like you've done videos around glass and stuff like that. They can follow that in order and then they can switch on to a new topic and stuff. And yeah, so it's I can 100% see why you would do it, and it's something I'll have to keep a close eye on myself and see how it works because we're in the same boat on that one.
It's not even just that, right? I've got over 1,000 haul videos, and in my haul videos, right, I'm identifying pieces. I talk about how to identify the pieces, how to find the pieces, what I paid for them, what they're worth. Every single one of them haul videos is a masterclass in antiques, right? Every one of those, you could watch a haul video from 8 years ago and it still be relevant to today. Right? They're all valuable content. And if they're all on my website, people can then click the category, whether they want haul videos, whether they want education videos, whether they want vlogs. They can click on the category, take them through to the options. They can click whatever video they want to watch. As it is, YouTube, I'm not being funny. I got 41,500 subscribers, and it's supposed to push out notifications to everybody who've clicked on the bell. It doesn't even push enough notifications out to cover the amount of people who've clicked on the bell to be notified. In the first week, I think I got something like 3,000 or 4,000 people have clicked on the bell to be notified, and it sends out like 2,000 notifications. So it doesn't even serve half the people who've said, yeah, I want to be served this notification.
Well, I got another example as well. It's I'm sorry, I don't want it to sound negative at the end of anything, but we're on the topic, so I thought I'd bring it up. But to give you an idea, the Japanese bowl I showed you, I did a video on that, which took me a long. It's probably the most time I spent on a video because of how it was made. It was a lot of tips and stuff. So you did all that time. And I think it's an amazing story that I think most people would enjoy watching. But I put that out 3 months ago, and that's had 312 views in that time. And the first week or so, it was like less than 100. And
I've watched the video, and it's a really good video. You filmed it very well. You talked about the piece very well. In fact, you probably did a better video there than what I do on 90% of my videos. And it's soul destroying, isn't it?
Well, it's very frustrating, yeah, because it also all the metrics around the likes and the comments and the watch time and all that are all really positive. So it makes no sense. And you get then coached by YouTube help articles and maybe people who do it who think they know better and stuff. Oh, well, you need a better hook and all that sort of cliche stuff. It's not that at all. It's like all this algorithm stuff. And I'm going to say this because I think it's a good lesson to learn, and maybe how you think about not just obviously YouTube, but this is true of eBay, all the social media channels. The algorithm is kind of just a what it really means is it's just a big advertising tool, and they use the algorithm to try and trick you into believing it's around the content, when a lot of time it's around how much you pay them to promote your stuff. And as I say, the same with eBay and stuff like that. If you're not selling on there and you speak to eBay about it, they'll give you some cliche stuff around, oh, you need to do this with your pictures, or you need to put this in your description stuff. It's like, no, what they really want you to do is just pay to promote more and give them more the sale. So
can I just pause you there? I know I'm interrupting you. I'm sorry. I just want to refer to that email you received that you sent me, and I used in that article I wrote. Kieron's received an email off a subscriber to his channel. And in that email, you can actually see the screenshot of the email on my article on my website. But there's an email there that someone come across and said they're actually using 15% eBay promote. All right, so they're using eBay promote, but only at 15%, even though you were being recommended 25%. The take-ins a year ago today were £850 a week. The take-ins this year, using eBay promote, same products, same company, same services and delivery, £50 a week.
Well, can I just say as well, actually with that wasn't an email to me. That was actually a comment on a popular eBay reseller channel. Where they were asking that person for support, and that person, from what I can tell, didn't respond to them. But they basically put on there saying, "Can you help me? I'm doing all this. I'm putting eBay promote to 50%. I've been selling on eBay for all this time. My sales in the last year have dropped from, I think it was like $2,000 a week take-ins down to 200 or something like that.
No, 850 down to 50 it was.
Okay, right, there we go. So yeah, it was. I sent it to you because I came across it and said, well, this is eBay in a nutshell. And it goes to show, how do I say this? If you're an eBay seller, I suppose where you're asking for advice and where you're looking for solutions, sometimes who you go to and who you're getting inspiration from might not be the best place for you. It might be where you're going down the wrong road. So, yeah, I think, just to sort of tie it all back in, what we're trying to get at here is that we're trying to do things which go outside the, we're talking about 2026. We're trying to do things differently. We're trying to build audiences and give content, which doesn't mean that we are dictated to by the algorithm and doing things certain ways and stuff like that. we're trying to see past that and offer value beyond that. So
even more than that, I am going to be the first case study that proves you can have everything without platform dependency. That you can compete with the likes of eBay without paying eBay fees and eBay promote. That you can compete with YouTube without paying for YouTube promote. I'm going to be the first platform that proves that you don't need platform dependency. That you can build your own. And I've been saying it for years, you can build your own. Now, you can, Gracie, please stop. You can go to a £20 a month website and own your own website and start. But the key is starting. Okay, thank you. Go on then. The key is starting. You have to start. Mm-hmm. You know, it's all right to say, I need to do this. I want to do this. I want to get away from eBay. But if you don't take plans, you never will. Gracie, go to bed, please. No, if you don't stop, you either go to bed or you go out. Please. I'm in bad books. Yeah, I've already promised that I would do a motivational video for people for 2026, but I'll be doing a motivational video, but it won't be a full one because I've done it in an article. And I got to be honest with you, when I sat down and read the article I wrote, I felt that I would probably lose 99% of the subscribers who watched the video because it is so brutal, so honest, and so truthful that 99% of people won't even want to read it. It's literally been wrote for 1% of people who want to succeed, or the 1% of people who say, enough of eBay taking my money, this is what I'm going to do.
You
know,
it's interesting because we could have sort of ended this video a lot differently and said, you know, what a great year, and it's going to be a great year to come, and we'll, you know, that's what a lot of people do. But you know, it's a tough journey ahead for both of us running a business, you know, on our own. Yeah, it's gonna take that type of approach. It's going to take that kind of, you know, being brutal and pursuing and having, you know, strong goals that you push towards, and you know it's going to be a tough journey ahead. We're not in this for, as I think we've made clear, we're not in it for quick flips or quick victories or anything like that. We're in it for the long game, and we have a plan that we'll push ahead with, and hopefully in the long run that is what will be more prosperous than just going for the quick wins all the time.
Going back to the comment, I actually thought you added it as an email. I didn't realize there was a comment on somebody's video that they ignored. Going back to that comment, it goes to show that the people following these get-rich-quick schemes, these quick dopamine hits, they don't work. I'm telling people all the time, the only way to do this job and the only way to be successful in this job is to put the hard work in. Be consistent. If you show up to every car boot sale, you're never going to miss that lucky day. If you go out and you get up at 5 a.m. and you go and do the work, you'll find the stock. If you list the stock, well, I'd say you'd sell it, but that's not necessary on eBay. But if you do the work, you can drive your own traffic to eBay. Even if you're on eBay, right? There are things you can do to drive your own traffic. You can put stuff on eBay. You can drive your own traffic through social media to eBay. It doesn't have to be to your own website. There are things you can do. Yeah. One of the things I talk about in my motivation article is taking responsibility. Basically, instead of saying, well, it's eBay's fault I'm not selling because I won't pay promote, or it's YouTube's fault I'm not getting views because I won't do promote, is take responsibility and say, okay, I'm not getting to the people, then I'm obviously not doing what YouTube want. Therefore, I need to fix it myself. Therefore, putting it on my own platform, the people that visit my website are genuine people interested in genuine antiques. So I took responsibility for it. Even though I've got 3 million views and 41,000 odd subscribers, the people on my website are genuinely interested in antiques. And you and I both know I would rather 1,000 views on a video from people who love antiques, love the history of it, than 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 views of people who are going to click on and click off and not care about the hard work side of it. Because there is no quick fix in this business.
And that's why I brought up that video earlier, actually. It's not because I wanted 100,000 views on it or anything. I just wanted the people who follow my videos to see it. And I get comments on it every now and again, people who haven't seen it before, and it was never pushed to them. So that's what's frustrating about YouTube. You make a video for a specific audience. I didn't make that for loads of views. I just wanted the people who watch me regularly and, people who might be interested in it, who say, watch your channel, but haven't seen my channel yet, to come across it. But it didn't even do that. It wouldn't even show it to my actual subscribers. So that's what's frustrating with YouTube, actually. So don't think we're sitting here saying, I wish I was a big YouTuber or anything. I just wish that it would just push my videos to people I know would be interested in it.
How many times have you and I been to a boot sale and someone come up to me and said, oh, it's nice to meet you, Walter. Are you still doing videos? I don't get notified no more.
Yeah, exactly.
You're there all the time. People come up to me and say all the time, you're still making videos, because I don't see them anymore. People who've followed me for years. What does that tell? But that's my goal anyway for 2026. What did you make of the comment?
Yeah, fair enough. It's absolutely fair enough. That's how you should do things, to be honest. I think if it's a race to the bottom, that's the problem with a lot of things, really. With a lot of these platforms, it is a case of you're up against. Depends what you buy and sell. I mean, if you're buying like unique items, as you say, that it's so rare. Like even on eBay, you should be able to get your price for it if you leave it on there long enough. But it's all about mentality, isn't it? It's good to get in a position where you're not in a rush to sell stuff, that you have that quiet confidence of, I can leave it there for a few years if I need to. That's why we have quite big inventories. For example, if I only had 100 items, I would need to sell those items fast to be making money. If you have thousands of items for sale, then you do buy yourself time to get the best prices of stuff. So many different ways of doing things.
I have got 8,000 listings on my website. About 5,500 of them are still active, which equates to about £500,000 worth of stock listed on the website. I have got just as much as you've seen sitting in lockups, waiting to be listed.
Yeah.
And the way to do that is what we've talked about over and over and over and over, which is if you go out today and spend £100, sell one or two of them to get that £100 back. The rest of them you can sit on for 5 years. It don't matter. You reinvest that same £100 next week, buy another 5-10 items, sell one or two of them, get your money back. All of a sudden, the compounding interest of the stock that builds up every week that doesn't sell, and maybe one week you'll sell 3 or 4 and make double your money. And you invest £200 instead of 100, and then you're growing. It's compounded growth. People have no idea the value of compounding growth. Whether it's stock, whether it's sales, whether it's articles, videos, doesn't matter. You've got, I don't know how many videos you've got now, probably 50, 100, something like that. But the compounded growth, even if those videos in a few years' time are only getting 1 or 2 views each, that's 1 or 2 views each per video, per month or per week, whatever, sending people to your site. It's the compounding interest. Imagine the compounding interest of 1,100 videos. If you do something long enough, you'll eventually be in the top percentage. It's that simple, because most people will not stick anything.
Yeah. 100%. And we will as well. I think that's been shown, even when I know my YouTube's not monetized, I'm still putting the videos out and carrying on. So it's got value beyond the views and stuff like that. It only takes one person to watch one of these videos. It could make it all worthwhile. So you're absolutely right.
It does anyway, because I built a community. You were building a community, right? And I got to be honest, though, I've got people who have followed me since almost day one. And I'm actually friends with quite a few people who started watching me in the first year I started YouTube, 8, 9 years ago, 10 years ago. And I'm actually in contact with people, Natalie and Steve, for starters. They messaged me. I just had a Christmas card this week now. And they came down to Gavilon. That's a boot sale you wouldn't have been to. It shut down years ago. There used to be a boot sale in Gavilon by Abergavenny. And they came down to see me all the way from up England because they like me on YouTube. I'm still friends with loads of people. The YouTube allows you to build a community. It really does. And there is a small community. It's not about the numbers. YouTube has turned into a vanity thing where people want this massive dopamine hit and the vanity of saying, I've got millions of followers. I got 41,500 followers and I still only get a couple of thousand views on a video in a week. What's the point in having all the followers if they don't watch the videos?
Yeah.
I would rather the core community that I've got to the massive numbers.
I totally agree. Yeah, with you 100%. Yeah, that's what you want to aim for. Yeah, I just go back to what I said. All you want is that community to see the stuff that you're putting out and not have to go out looking for it and stuff like that, just as they would any other video. But that's kind of what you're up against with YouTube anyway.
Anyway, I got probably about 10 minutes left. Is there anything you want to add in the video or anything anyone wants to ask before we have to call her a day?
Well, there's nothing for me to add to the video. I think we covered a lot of interesting topics there, and yeah, nothing else springs to mind for me. I think it's
really nothing else springs to mind to you. What's your biggest achievement of 2025?
That's an interesting
Watch
one.
his face now when it comes to mind. I already know what it is.
What's my
Who
biggest
become a daddy?
Well, I thought we purely talked about the
No,
stuff.
we talked about 2025. Just as a recap, come on.
Well, that outranks everything and anything we've talked about and could talk about. That was by far the best moment. And yeah, so baby was born on the 17th of June. So everything I've been doing since then has also been as a father as well, and going along that journey. And well, I'm still here. I'm still going. So that's a positive in its own right as well.
I want to just say this, right? As a bit of a motivator for anybody watching this channel, right? You left a full-time job that was paying the wages. You've begun a family, and you took a chance on a career that could have failed. You took a real gamble to follow your passion, and you're doing it. You put in the work in, you put in the hours in, you're sitting there at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning with me outside the boot sales waiting for him to start. Nobody can take anything away from you, right? And that little one is an achievement. Believe me, they grow up into a pain in the ass, as you saw tonight with my little one. But yeah, that's a hell of an achievement. 25 has been a good year for you. Your business has grown, your family has grown. You've had a good year. And hopefully 26 will carry on in the same way.
Yeah, look, appreciate you putting it that way. It's a great way of thinking about it. Yeah, I'm very positive about 2025. I think it's I can look back and be very happy with how it's gone across the board for those exact reasons. So, what else can we say? It's gone well.
Katie, I give you my business card. I presume, was that Madly? And please forgive me because I get approached by so many people and give so many business cards out. So I think it was Madly, but I'm not sure. Thank you for all the hard work given me to drive to do better and make my own website a work in progress. If you want a hard-hitting article, the truth, go and read my article I done on my blog pages, and it's titled Focus is the discipline and most people refuse to do, or something along them lines. It's on the first page of my blogs anyway. If you want a bit of motivation to start 2026, because let's be frank, everybody goes, oh, I'm going on a diet in 2026, or I'm giving up smoking in 2026, I'm giving up vaping in 2026. If you want to actually do something and stick to it, go and read that article. But don't think it's a sugar-coated article in any way, shape, or form. It's quite vicious. And that's one thing I've always been as blunt and honest and said it as it is. I've never sugar-coated anything. I've never tried to say to people, do this job, it's easy and get rich quick. I've always said I do 10, 12, 14-hour days, but I absolutely love it because it gives you freedom. It gives you the power. You can make as much money or as little money as you want or need. If you come into the VAT limit, you can take a holiday for 6 months. Whatever you want to do, it's up to you. But you've got to put the work in. I have never been an advocate. I can't stand, and I mean this from the heart. Now, if I upset other resellers, I couldn't give a monkey. The YouTube creators who say that you can go out, do a half hour at the boot sale, buy a couple of things, work for an hour at home, and then make a mint. They're selling pipe dreams. Cowbridge. I know them. Thank you. I am sorry. Yeah, that was a few years back, because I haven't been at Cowbridge for a while. You went to Cowbridge last year, didn't you?
I had some really good buys in Cowbridge last year. It was really good. Getting very busy down there. So big competition for Madley, that one.
Between Madley, Pennyval, Gatligay, Goitra, I just do so many boot sales. It's just shocking. Anyway, I think it's we call it there unless you've got anything you want to add in. I am grateful for everything that you and for you coming on all the videos and coming out with me, and I appreciate your input.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure, and I've gained a lot for it. And I was only going to say as an end, if I feel like I'm flagging towards the last, well, actually, we're coming up to almost 2 hours now. So if the second half I've been flagging, it's because I am trying to clear a cold, and it's all just building up. So there we go. Hopefully, it's not been too obvious. But yeah, look, thank you to you on your channel, having me back on. It's been a pleasure as always, and we've done some amazing things in our collaborations this year, and we got even more plans for next year. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
Can I add in before people start dropping off, right? If there's a specific type of video you want, now me and Kieron are going to carry on the antique road trip battles. Maybe you want us to come up your way and say hello. If it's not too far, we'll do that. But give us a shout. If there's anything particular you want, or you want a video or anything done, give us a shout and we'll see what we can knock out for you.
Definitely.
Right. Didn't mean to interrupt you there. Just wanted to get that out before I forgot.
No, I don't think you did. I think that was that's what I wanted to say. But yeah, it's always good to get some ideas on where to go and everything, because sometimes we don't even know.
I'd rather put out stuff that people want to watch. So if you've got something you want to watch, let us know, because I'd rather put that out than guess what you want.
Well, we got to keep coming up with ideas as well. And sometimes it's funny how it's hard to come up with the ideas sometimes. So if someone gives you an idea and says, make a video about this, that's actually very useful to us as well, because it just saves us having to think of it. So yeah, same for me. If you ever want to, if there's a type of video you want, please let me know.
Anyway, thank you very much for coming on, for everything we've done this year. I appreciate it. And for everybody who's watched the video, honestly, I can't thank you enough. For everyone who watches it back later on, I hope everybody has an amazing 2026, including us. I am selfish. I want us to have a good 26 as well. Find more amazing stuff and just be happy. But yeah, I hope everybody has a good 2026, and thank you very much for all your support up to now. Now, if you haven't subscribed to Kieron's channel, you can see that there. Oh, that's your website. Link to his YouTube channel is in the description. Please make sure you go over and subscribe. Kieron's got some really good videos on there. And don't be shy to drop him a coffee, because, as you say, he has been demonetized on YouTube. And if we manage to help and you go out and you find £1,000 item for a couple of pounds, don't be shy to drop him a coffee or something. Thank you very much for watching, and I really hope you found something out of this video other than watching crap HTV or BBC during this festive period.
Yeah, happy New Year to you all. Have a good one.
Thank you very much. Bye all.
Take care.